Sylvara is a hero. A dragon hero. Definitely fan service and absolute gooner bait. She's also really weird, so let's break it down. All stats in the video are assumed to be at max level. Sylvara's range is massive. She has the longest range out of all heroes in Alliance, and even the second longest range hero, Onagro, still has noticeably less range than her. Because of her unique posture, Sylvara also has some pretty weird blind spots, and if I'm being for real, I just don't know how to map them out. They are so weird. Luckily, a developer named Iceblocker, who's from Ironhide, who is also the one who made Sylvara's attacks way better to aim and plenty more cool stuff. He's pretty goated. He sent a visual of Sylvara's range and it just somehow makes sense. The rule of thumb is that she can't target anything that's above her, but can target anything about beneath her shoulder level, so position carefully. Sylvara's basic attack splits her damage value into 7 projectiles. She can also target air units as of the Wukong's Journey DLC update. Other enemy, including flying ones, can take damage if a projectile intercepts their path. Her basic attacks can be auto-cancels, although it is actually mostly detrimental to her. Auto-cancel or not, the attack cooldown of her basic attack is the same regardless. However, with auto-cancels, her basic attack does not shoot all 7 projectiles, resulting in a loss of damage. I did say mostly detrimental, though let's get to that a bit later. Sylvara has a passive called Passive Plan Zones in the game files. Each enemy killed by her basic attack or Thorny Breath, including flying enemies, will spawn a root patch that slows down all enemies by 50% in a small area. The roots will visually wiggle when a flying enemy passes over it, but it does not slow them down. It's merely a visual bug. Each patch lasts for 25 seconds. Thorny Breath is easily Sylvara's best skill. Every 8 seconds, Sylvara will empower her next basic attack to apply a bleed that deals magic damage based on the enemy's movement speed for 5 seconds. The bleed damage is based on the current enemy speed rather than the base speed of the enemy, so slow debuffs actually reduce the damage dealt of the bleed, while speed buffs do the opposite. But still, this skill deals great amount of magic damage nonetheless, especially if the target does not have magic resistance and has very high speed, like the Bane Wolf from Undying Fury. The skill cooldown only starts when Thorny Breath has been used. Here's a funny thing. Remember when I said that auto-cancelling is mostly detrimental for Sylvara? That's called foreshadowing, because Thorny Breath can be auto-cancel, so that it doesn't consume the cooldown on use on basic attack. This means that you can constantly have Thorny Breath active on each basic attack, ready to apply on enemies, or refresh the debuff as long as you auto-cancel. Thorny Breath is Sylvara's main source of damage anyways, so losing a few basic attack projectiles doesn't hurt too much. Hall of the Forest summons 2 to 3 Arborean Guardians from root patches. It has global range but requires at least 2 root patches to be casted. 1 patch is consumed per unit. The Guardians have decent bulk, comparatively low damage, and will move along the path and last up to 14 seconds. This skill has a 35-second cooldown. Deep Roots buffs 3 random towers, including barracks within Sylvara's range, for 60% extra damage for 8 seconds with a cooldown of 35 seconds. It's a rather simple skill, but it helps. Lifebringer makes Sylvara summon a plant at 3 random towers within her range. Depending on the faction, she will summon a poison mushroom for Dark Army towers and a healing flower for Lenirian Army towers. The position of the plants are the same as the initial spawn location of barracks. The poison mushroom deals decent magic damage and slows enemies down by 70% for a short duration. The healing flower inflicts a buff to nearby allies that heals them for approximately 112 HP over 1.5 seconds. The flower can target flying heroes, but it does not heal them. Lifebringer has a duration of 12 seconds and a cooldown of 20 seconds, which gives a respectable 60% uptime. Inner Nature gets Sylvara to enter her true form for 15 seconds, gaining 60% more damage, armor, magic resistance, and movement speed. During this form, she has the highest magic damage, the second highest armor, the highest magic resistance, and the highest movement speed among all heroes in Alliance. Pretty huge buffs, kinda like a boost. 2 of her skills are buff in this form, Call of the Forest and Thorny Breath. Arborean Guardians turn into Paragons, gaining extra stats including attack speed and movement speed, and will stay as Paragons even if Sylvara's true form expires. Thorny Breath gains a 30% insta-kill chance during Sylvara's true form. It's a simple buff, but when auto-cancel gets involved, it gets a bit weird. The insta-kill chance still works, however, Enemies who are already bleeding from Thorny Breath cannot be insta-kill, meaning if that 30% chance fails the first time, you gotta let that 5-second bleed sink in to try again. Sylvara overall is a hands-free hero that specializes in frequent long-range support with Call of the Forest, Deep Roots, and Lifebringer, while dealing consistent high magic damage with Thorny Breath and Inner Nature's boost, especially with auto-cancelling involved. She doesn't have the best burst abilities, and that basic attack range can still be wicked whack even now, but she's still overall very strong. I mean, yeah, what do you expect? She's a dragon. Anyways, thanks for watching. I plan to do other heroes, potentially Vesper, but let me know if you want to know other heroes as well. Which one should I do first? But yeah, that's it. Sayonara.